Good evening, friends, and welcome to yet another exciting session of Candid Bina. And in today's session, we'll be discussing about a lot of things, including the way in which Salman Khan's latest film is a huge flop, and also the story behind Empuraan's Mohanlal's Empuraan, the huge controversy it's drawing in, and a lot of political movement regarding this, and people are boycotting left and right, especially since the film is against Sanatan Dharma and a lot of things, and so this is
Godra rights, yes.
the Gotra rights, yes. So we'll be talking about all this in today's session. And welcome Gloria and welcome Lena, and welcome each and everyone who's tuning in live as well as watching this in your free time. So friends, if you do like our content, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with your friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome, Manjit. Yes. Welcome, Gloria. Welcome, Lena. And also, friends, while Jaydeep will tell you about Salman Khan's movie, also the latest breaking news is that his shows are being cancelled because there is no audience. So this is karma hitting back at Salman Khan. He thought he could get away with you know what. And now look at what he's facing. Nobody wants to see his film and the theaters are all empty. So this is the kind of fate that awaits Salman Khan. Yeah,
yes.
Back to you.
So coming to the first piece of news, and apparently you have Salman Khan's film Sikandar, in which you have Rashmika Mandana also acting on it. And according to the latest reports, is the film has received a lot of negative reviews, leaving all his so-called fans disappointed. And many viewers have expressed their discontent, stating that Salman looks disinterested throughout the film. His lack of energy and conviction in the role has been a major letdown for fans, and it has failed to impress the critics and audience alike. And even the collections are very, very dismal, and many theaters are, I heard, even canceling the shows and replacing his film as well. So all in all, his trick with of casting Rashmika Mandana has not worked to his advantage, and it is quite apparent from this. Such being made in main media about Chalu Khan wearing a Ram Mandir watch, all for making money from Sanatani.
Yes, absolutely. Well said. Yeah. So moving back to the main news of today, which I will break up in detail with Jaydev and tell you exactly what is happening with the movie Empuraan, which is supposed to be out in 5 languages, and also supposed to be, the most expensive movie that superstar Mohanlal from Kerala is acting, and directed by another actor called Prithviraj Sukumaran, who is also a leading actor in Kerala, and also funded by Gokulam Gopalan, who of Chit Funds, who is also having a very, very dubious background because he's been raided by the income tax and ED several times. So let us first, before we go on to the actual criticism of the film, I would like to talk to you of a person who has actually been a very huge Mohanlal fan, and how his heart broke when he saw this movie. Okay, so he says, now his name, let me just get his name first. His name is Abhijit Radhakrishnan. Okay, and what he says is, the day my heart broke at the theater. I've always called myself a hardcore Mohanlal fan. So please, friends, this is an actual person writing about the movie before we go into the critique of the movie. Not just a fan, an admirer, a worshipper of his art. His screen presence, his humility. I've always called myself a hardcore Mohanlal fan. Now, his films have been my escape, my joy, my pride as a Malayali and as a Hindu. So naturally, March 27th was a date I had circled in my heart. The day Empuraan would hit the theaters. I walked into the hall with excitement coursing through my veins. Just like every other Mohanlal film release, the lights dimmed, the familiar rush of anticipation filled the air. I leaned back in my seat, ready to be enthralled. But what followed in the next 15 minutes completely shattered me. The film began with a disclaimer: all characters and incidents are fictional. But then comes a scene from 2002, a Muslim village being burned down. Amid the chaos, a little Muslim boy crying out for his father is brutally beaten to death by a Hindu man. I sat frozen. My heart pounded, not with thrill, but with confusion. The scene changes. Some of the Muslim villagers, terrified and bloodied, seek shelter in a Hindu home. But instead of compassion, they are met with horror. Hindu men, supposedly their saviors, turn into beasts. And in the most gut-wrenching moment, a Hindu man is shown raping a pregnant Muslim woman. I felt sick, not because the scene was intense, but because of what it was trying to say. Why? Why this portrayal? Why this narrative? As the film progresses, the attack is just not on individuals, it's on ideas. A major political party emerging with a pro-Hindu one is depicted as a catastrophe, a threat to Kerala's culture and ethos. So here he's talking about BJP. The villain from this so-called pro-Hindu party declares that Kerala's 600-kilometer coastline could be used for smuggling drugs and psychotropic substances. What was Prithvi Sukumaran trying to prove? And more painfully, why was Mohanlal a part of this conspiracy? This isn't just a creative liberty. This feels like an ideological attack, a carefully crafted piece that paints Hindus as savages, nationalists as villains, and the idea of political assertion by Hindus as something dangerous. I walked out of the theatre with a heavy heart and trembling hands. A part of me still couldn't believe I had just watched Mr. Mohanlal. This hurts. This is betrayal. I've always known Prithvi's political leanings. His ideological slant was evident in many of his past works. But you were above all that. You were someone we believed in, someone we looked up to, a symbol of balanced thought and respect for all. But now that image is broken, shattered. This will be the last Mohanlal film I'll ever watch. And I say that with a lump in my throat. I never imagined that a man I adored could be a part of a film that demonizes the very faith I was born into, that subtly mocks the people I call my own, that slanders the leaders I trust, Narendra Modi, BJP for India, and every Hindu who dares to speak up. Let the world remember this. Hindus have never been the instigators of riots. What has happened in the past has always been a reaction to relentless provocation and cowardly act from those who claim a holy cause. And yet you have chosen to paint us with the darkest of brushes. Mr. Mohanlal, you have stooped so low. You've stooped to a level I never thought possible. You let your name, your legacy, and your art become a weapon against your own people. Shame on you. Today, I didn't just watch a film. I watched my faith, my belief, and my fandom burn just like that. A village in your film. And from those ashes rose a heartbreak that I will never forget. See for yourself, the theater was completely empty. Now, friends, you see from this man's disgust that they have distorted facts to appease Muslims. Together with money laundering, this is a huge effort at whitewashing facts. A very poor film. First half, people say, was feeling sleepy. Second half, okay. No story, nothing, waste of money. So now, friends, moving to the criticism of this movie. I want each one of you to hear this and spread the message, because this is something that they are doing to destroy the country and its unity. Now, the controversy has engulfed the film Empuraan. Its depiction of the Godhra incident has been widely condemned as a biased anti-Hindu narrative. Furthermore, the film's portrayal of the federal agencies like ED and CBI as instruments of abuse has fueled further criticism. The resulting public outcry, including calls for boycott, demonstrates the significant impact of US sentiment on a film's reception. This backlash stands in stark contrast to the film's heavily promoted launch. You remember, this film was being promoted in every channel, and including a senior, a mature lady like Navika, was gushing that she was having fan girl moments when she spoke to Mohanlal. If only she had seen the film, she would not be gushing or blushing, So the precedent for such a controversy exists in Kerala. As you remember, the Kashmir files and the Kerala story, which called for boycott, originated from certain segments of society. In light of this, the current objections to similar calls against Empuraan appear inconsistent. So they want to boycott, Kashmir Files and the Kerala story, but Empuraan should not be, boycotted. If the promotion of the film is considering a legitimate exercise for free expression, then so too must be the act of dissuading others from viewing it. Why are people told not to boycott it? Now, if you're asking my personal opinion, I have also chosen not to view Empuraan only because it's my personal choice. And the fact that the people who are close to me, who have seen it, have said that it is anti-India, it is anti-Hindu agenda. Furthermore, I maintain that critical commentary does not necessitate first-hand viewing. I don't have to see a film to criticize it. It's my right, if something is wrong. Now, let me tell you, as a movie buff, I've been watching some of the best movies of Satyajit Ray right from that time, Govind Nihalani to Adur Gopalakrishnan. So my sense of criticism and seeing of Hollywood, I would say perhaps maybe better than Prasoon Joshi, who heads the current CBFC chairman. He's the chairman of the CBFC, which is this censorship board. Now, he has been accused of harboring a bias towards individuals with leftist and Muslim-aligned ideologies. So let's get his picture on board. So Jaideep, can you move on to his picture? Now, let me tell you a little bit about him. Now, the CBFC has often been accused of harboring a bias towards individuals with leftist and Muslim-aligned ideologies. Now, Prasoon Joshi, a figure closely associated with the present government, has enjoyed a very long tenure since 2014, where you remember he wrote a poetry about Narendra Modi. And that's how he fell into the hands of the present government. The CBFC, headquartered in Mumbai, assembles a panel of roughly 30 members for film certification. And contrary to expectations, the panel's composition has not significantly shifted to include a general, a greater representation of Hindu Sangha members. It's only one or two, and that also to make sure that people do not think, that they are biased. So it is a superficial attempt to, make this, people understand that they are being very, very unbiased. Now, there was a perception that a film review panels dealing with Hindu themed movies often includes a token member from the Sangh Parivar. So, however, this inclusion is seen as mostly symbolic. This is only to make you understand that, they are, they have people who are pro-Muslim, who are, and they are very secular. Now, this raises concern about the certification of Empuraan, which reportedly contains objectionable content. How did the censor board, led by Prasoon Joshi, clear the film? Is my question. Was this panel responsible for granting the certificate? Everybody knows Prasoon Joshi earlier as only a songwriter in Bollywood. And he's been always known as an urban Naxalite. Now, during the India Today conclave in 2019 in Delhi, this man wrote a song called The Plurality Project, Idea of India in a Song. He opened his segment by discussing his poem, Main Desh Nahi Mitne Dunga, which was notably recited by Prime Minister Modi in 2014 following the Pulwama attacks. Subsequently, in 2017, he was appointed chairman of CBFC. And now we all know this man has been promoting a lot of movies which have jihadi elements to it. Specifically, let me talk to you about the Mapla Massacre of Hindus, the movie which was taken by Ram Sinha. And in that movie, they wanted all the scenes to be cut. When every scene showed facts where the Maplas massacred Hindus. But this man did not allow this movie to, be certified. And they gave 100 cuts on that. And then when this director tried to contact him, he was not available on the phone. He did not respond. So what does this Prasoon Joshi think? He is some emperor sitting on a throne that he won't answer the people who've directed movies that have taken so long to make? Now, if you're asking the certificate of why, the certificate of Kashmir Files happened, well, first it was, shown in Europe and in America. So when it came to India, they had no choice but to give it a certificate. Now, as you see, this man is the Prasoon Joshi heads the censor board. The case of Ram Simhan's movie Mapla Massacre is presented as evidence of this perceived bias. You remember that earlier it was Anurag Thakur who was the Minister of Information, and then now it is Ashwini Vaishnav. Now, both these people have not really bothered about it. You can't blame Ashwini because he's been given two portfolios. One is the railway, and one is the information. Now, earlier Anurag Thakur was the one who said that he will fight for the country. He was an activist and all that. But when this movie on the Mapla massacre came, he kept quiet, and he allowed it to be cut into pieces. Now, when you talk about the movie Empuraan, sorry, this movie even has Anthony Permavur, who is the driver turned producer of Mohanlal's Ashirwad films, acting in it. So this is all, everything seems like a sort of a humorous, because tomorrow you can see Salman Khan showing Shera, and giving him a role in his movie. It is like that. Now, rather than criticizing the producers and the stars, now I would say the whole blame goes on Prasoon Joshi and the Minister of Information and Broadcasting for approving the film despite its controversial scenes and perceived agenda, jihadi agenda. Now, questions are raised about how the film received a certification and the implications for the country's film certification process. Now, the film has undergone 17 cuts. It is argued that unless Prasoon Joshi is removed from this position, such films will continue to come and to make people divided. You're talking about Muslims and Hindus, divided, completely divided, spreading hatred. Now, the film, as we said, earlier when Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who is now in Kerala, he is the BJP president there. Now, he was so happy, and he even supported his friend Mohanlal by saying that, he was very keen to watch it. But now comes the important part, friends. Okay, so now I'm talking about when all this information went to Amit Shah in Delhi. Rajiv Chandrasekhar was called there. So, and when Prime Minister's office and Amit Shah were briefed about the film and given all the details, including the involvement of Gokulam Gopalan, the chit fund company producer, the actor Prithviraj Sukumaran, whose past work has been described as jihadi, and Mohanlal, and they've all been facing many issues with regards to money laundering. Now, when this film went to Prime Minister Modi and to Amit Shah, they were red-faced, because this movie was not only talking against Amit Shah and also about Modi ji during the Godhra riots, and also mocking and making fun of the federal agencies. Okay, and though the movie producer and all these actors and all are saying that they were the ones who made the cuts because they thought it necessary, it's not like that. They were ordered to cut these scenes, and only then they would get certification. Okay, so all these people are acting in it, whether it's Mohanlal, whether it's Prithviraj Sukumaran, whether it is also this actress, Jaydeep, what's her name? Manju Warrior. Okay, all these people are very closely associated with, the people who make content for jihadis. Okay, so now the sources indicate that CBFC's Kerala office has reviewed the film after intervention from the centre, and the board proposed specific edits, and if the revised version is submitted by the following Monday, it's expected to receive some approval for the screening. Now, the film's producers have agreed to implement these modifications, and producer Gokulam Gopalan stated that he instructed the director to make these changes, but it is not like that. They have been ordered to change it. The controversy has triggered political responses across party lines. Now, the Congress thinks that it's all the reality, when everybody knows that the facts have been altered, okay, to change. And now, amid all this, when Rajiv Chandrasekhar said that he's going to see it, now the moment he was called to the center, by Amit Shah, he made a U-turn and he said that he'll need to see the movie only after the cuts are made. Now, as you know, the film has drawn a lot of criticism with allegations that it glorifies the banned terrorist organization, Lashkar-e-Toba. Furthermore, the questions have been raised regarding the source of funds for the film's production, specifically concerning a property in Pali Hill owned by by Prithviraj's wife, Supriya Menon, which goes into crores in Pali Hill. And she was a former BBC and NDTV employee. The film is alleged to contain certain content similar to a BBC documentary on Godhra, which was banned by India. And now apparently that movie has been pushed and the very same content has been shown in Empuraan. Now, while some Kerala media outlets suggest the filmmakers voluntarily made changes, everybody knows that this was forced on them. And they also said that now they are under scrutiny from where the money is coming. Now, friends, one thing you must understand is that the theaters are empty. And yet Mohanlal is saying that, see, my God, this is the best movie that we have made and it is doing so well and all that, kind of stuff. And on top of that, now Mohanlal says that he has apologized. That, this should not have happened and, he did not see the film. It's very strange. I mean, even before you do a film, you run through the script and you see every part of the script and then you enter the film and you sign a deal, right? A contract. You mean to say such a seasoned superstar just walked into the movie and Prithviraj fooled him? This is all crap. And now what has happened is all these people are in a huge fix because center's focus has been on this and they have realized that they have thrown mud on their faces. They've thrown mud on Amit Shah and Narendra Modi's faces and distorted all the facts. And now they try to whitewash all these lies and tell us that, see, it was the Muslims who suffered and not the Hindus. So you can understand, anybody who has been a Mohanlal fan has already said that, see, this is the most ridiculous thing that he has done. But one thing I don't understand with Mohanlal fans is that he's always acted in such movies. If you look at the other one, the Arabian, the Lion of the Arabian Sea, in that he plays the role of Marakyar, who was also a Deshdrohi, who fought against the Emperor of Kerala, the royals of Kerala. But then he was shown as a hero. And here Lashkar-e-Toba is shown as heroes. What does this Prithviraj think? That people are going to accept it? If they're getting so many crores, if they can buy such a huge flat in Pali Hill, that means the money is coming from some source. Is it coming from the Gulf to fund anti-Indian movies? And why does the country, the government have to wake up so late? Why does the minister have to wake up so late? Why don't they just throw Prasun Joshi and tell him you and your leftist ideas go to, Timbuktu? And you remember, Prasun Joshi is the friend of certain elements in the BJP party. You know who I mean. Someone who loves Golgappas and all that is also very close to him. So he is given a lot of importance. And then what is he? Is he the Chinese president that he will be, in power for all the time? If he was selected so many years back, shouldn't he give, his position to some other person? You mean to say Prasun Joshi is going to be there all the time in the censor board? So all this you must understand, friends. This is all to, make the main agenda of this movie was to make a complete split between Muslims and Hindus, not only in Kerala, but all other parts of the country, because they made it in 5 languages. And the kind of promotion they have been doing, and all the stupid mainstream media running and licking their boots, thinking that it is, they are such great actors, and they wanted to praise them, everybody, including Navika of Times Now. At least if maybe you don't want to see the film, or maybe you didn't see the film. At least read or hear what the movie is about before praising it. And before going all gaga over Mohanlal, who's just an old man, who with his Botox and all is trying to act like a young man, just like Salman Khan or all these Khans. Right. So let's just take a few comments coming in very fast and furious. Government should sack him, just remove him. Prasoon Joshi should be thrown out. In fact, chappal should be put all over this again. We should be put on a donkey. What is Modi ji and Amit Shah just watching? They should be telling him to get out. Do they need social media to tell them that this is wrong? That there's something wrong with the movie and that you better correct it? We don't have any other job. Only when we tell you, you will wake up. And then all the agencies will wake up. And then the RAW and IB and everybody will wake up only when social media and YouTubers tell you about this. What nonsense. And then you promote something like an Ekta Kapoor film just because she's Ekta Kapoor and friendly with somebody else. So, a stupid film just because it had a mention of this Godra and Sabarmati Express. It's high time politicians stop sleeping with the Bollywood and giving them importance and all these film personalities. If they cannot do anything good for our country, let them just leave the country. How Hollywood characters are leaving America. Ajay says, why all acclaimed and celebrated actors are turning tricky and absurd. An artist should be a role model and respectable. But here, you see how very sinisterly they have taken the BBC content, the one that was banned, the documentary, and put it into this Empuraan. You see how cunning Prithviraj Sukumaran, who is the son of a good actor, someone who everybody respected. And now his mother comes, in public television and says that, what has my son done? Madam, you must be crazy if you don't know what your son has done. I think PM Modi will soon take care of. Prasoon is what Milburn says. And Leena says government should sack him. Yes. Welcome, Purnima. And Dia says, well said. Welcome, AI. Mohanlal is a fake Hindu. Yes, exactly. He doesn't care. You remember when the Hema report came out, what did he do? He resigned from, from Amma, the group, that manages all these movies. And it's sort of a very cozy club where all these men, these macho men come and they exploit women. So what did he do? He just resigns to protect the other men. Who suffered? It was the women who suffered. So that report never made it. It was a toothless report, exploiting women. And because big actors like Mohanlal and Mammootty and all of them were there, Mukesh never got, fired. Siddiqui never got fired, despite proof being, against them. And PK says 25 crores have been paid to Mohanlal for this film. All this money, we are wondering, where does it come from? And Ajay says, why all acclaimed and celebrated actors are turning tricky? Absolutely. And let's go on to some others. Please speak about this person, so-called Prophet Vijinder. Pursak says, yes. Welcome, Pursak. Always nice to see you. All happy with the women and disgraceful. Yes. And hi, Minaji. I love watching your show. First time I caught you live from Ireland. Thanks for standing for the truth. Kudos to your Hemant. Yes, thank you so much. And also, friends, please bear in mind, we are talking about a heroine called Manju Warrior. Now, what is her background? In real life, she is the one who left. I'm not talking about her husband. Her husband must be equally, worse than her. But she left her grown-up daughter. She went into films, right? And she decided that she will do films which are anti-Hindu. So you can understand they have selected the actors also very, very carefully. And most of the actors are, connected in some way or the other. Now, while it says I was a Salman Khan and used to watch his movies first day, but post SSR, I hate him to the core. And I've not watched any of his movies post it. Boycott Bollywood must be on. And Divya says, wonder what is the role of censor board in all these film tarnishing Hinduism is very deep rooted. Once upon a time, Bollywood used to have multiple shows. Sikandar movie has very less shows. In fact, they're even cancelling the shows. Now, justice for SSR and Disha, who were killed. So you can make out that it is a very, very bad time for all these people. Yes. So this friends is uh, the movie Empuraan in a nutshell. And you should see whenever they give interviews, we are talking about Mohanlal and Prithviraj. You can make out that they are scared of something. Even when they are, when they are interviewed, you can make out they're hiding something mischievous, something sly. And now the government has started taking action when the social media reminded them that there's something terribly wrong with this movie. And this is the 100th time we're telling you, please censor movies. Please control Ekta Kapoor's sex maniac movies, right? But you all have done nothing. You all have given them a free leash. There is no censorship of anything. But when it comes to, good movies, you will censor it like anything. And Dina says, whoever's doing anti-Hindu movies, government should take action against these people. Now, what's happening is these Prasoon Joshi and all are planted there. And the ministers who are kept for information have absolutely no idea, because I don't blame the present minister, because he's a very good minister. He looks after railways, but then he doesn't have the time to go through each and every movie. Then why is he put there? Put someone else who's smart. Violet says, kudos to you guys, ma'am, for speaking the truth and fighting for justice. Keep going. And Violet says, ma'am would request you to ask Jazz to stand strong again for justice for her daughter. And AI says, Minaji, get lawyer Oja to your channel. No, see, AI, I don't know what they are on, which travel they are on. I don't know whether to believe them that they really want justice for Sushant Singh, or they are just building their TRP. Because every time we see them, they're coming out with a new story. Now they really need to get down and act. So let's see. I mean, even if I call them, I requested them, but they don't come. So I really am not sure about this AI. So with this, we end this session. Please spread word that Empuraan should be completely boycotted and no one should see this idiotic film, this Deshdrohi film, which is against India. Modi government is at fault giving railway ministers this portfolio. Why? When minister has no time for this department. Absolutely. Thank you, friends. Good night. Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.